Texas led a coalition of 26 states challenging the president's illegal and unconstitutional executive amnesty. And it is a major step in stopping and permanently stopping the illegal amnesty that the president put into effect in November in defiance of the results of the polls in November of 2014.
And joining me now to frame the debate, Democratic strategist Angela Rye and Republican strategist, former advisor to Senator John McCain, Adolfo Franco. Thank you, friends, for being with me. Adolfo, I want to start with you on the issue of immigration and the court battle. How can these statements come back to haunt Republicans in 2016? That's what certainly Congressman Gutierrez was saying just a little while ago.
Well, I don't think they'll come back to haunt anybody but the Democrats. This is about the rule of law. Obviously, the underlying effect is on the president's immigration order, but it has to do with whether the president has overstepped his authority. Republicans and Democrats both are concerned about this. A majority of the states have brought a lawsuit. A bipartisan concern in Congress, both Democrats and Republicans. This is a terrible precedent for our country. We're going to have an imperial president that can ignore the law and create law. This isn't about the former president's use of executive action. This has to do with the president and nullifying existing statutes and creating law, not implementing the law, which was an executive action is all about. So this isn't about immigration. This should concern every single American, and I think it's an incredible step forward, just as Governor Abbott has stated.
Angela, I imagine you don't agree with your friend Adolfo.
Of course I don't, Jose, and neither do you. I think the first and foremost, let's address the executive action component. It has everything to do with past presidents going back to Eisenhower. The only distinction between this president and those who have acted on immigration are his race. So I know it's gonna. I know. Oh, please. But let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. You talked about legal precedent. Let me tell you what over 130 legal scholars said. Let me tell you what over 12 states said. Let me tell you what over 30 mayors said. All of those entities that have more immigrants in their populations than those 30 or the 26 states that you mentioned. So if we want to talk about legal precedent, let me tell you this. Our president just so happens to be a former constitutional law professor.
He needs a refresher course.
I'm sorry. No, he doesn't, and neither do the 130.
He needs a refresher course.
I'm mid-sentence. I am not even to the comma, Adolfo. Let me finish. The point is, neither do the 130-plus legal scholars. How dare you come across as someone who doesn't respect the legal authority of these minds? That's crazy.
All right, Adolfo. So let's
a couple of things very quickly, Jose. I have to say this. Look, legal authority is established by the courts. The executive actions of former presidents were implementing the law. I'm a lawyer. Had nothing to do with creating or nullifying the law. The dean of the Harvard Law School, a liberal, has said the president has exceeded its authority. This is not about race. This is about the imperial presidency.
All right. So stop a second, if you both could for a second. Put a pause on this. And I'm not trying to diminish your passion on this, but Adolfo, let's talk about the political implications for 2016, because the fact is that whether it's legal or not, whether there's 152 constitutional lawyers on one side and these on the other, let's talk about the political impact that this is going to have on the 2016 vote when Latinos are looking at this, and many in the Latino community are seeing this as there but for the grace of God go I, and these young people that today we're going to be registering for DACA are not going to be able to do that. Don't you see, Adolfo, that there's a possibility that this could have a political impact on the presidential election of 2016?
I think in a positive way for Republicans. Every poll I have seen shows the majority of the American people think the president has exceeded his authority as he has. If we frame this the right way, which it has to be framed, which has to do with the rule of law, Republicans stand for immigration reform. We are going to get immigration reform done. It's a question of how it gets accomplished. And that is the message we need to send. I think most Americans understand that there is a responsibility to balance power in the United States, and we cannot have an imperial presidency, and that this is about that, not about an attack on immigrants, as much as they would like to make it so.
All right, so Angela, you think that this Adolfo Franco concept, that this will be separated from the human emotional side, and it's going to be stuck on the legislative and presidential powers side, is going to carry through 2016?
Absolutely not. I think that we've already seen the fact that people don't understand how, the GOP could approach this so inhumanely. At this point, we're not only operating in that space, but now it's very dangerous. The standoff between the House and the Senate and whether or not DHS will be funded is frankly not just lacking of compassion at this point.
Right.
It is also very dangerous.
Angela, this is a bipartisan concern. This is a bipartisan concern.
I'll tell you what. I think you guys could continue this conversation for a little bit more. I'm sensing this. I don't know how. But I thank you both, Ed Zorai and Adolfo Franco, for being with me. I really appreciate it.